Hey you guys, I'm Clara and I have stage 4 lung cancer, and welcome to Cancer Questions with Clara, where I answer one question a day about my experience as a cancer patient. Today's question is, what is your cancer story? So buckle up, this one might kind of be a long one. If you're interested in just hearing about my symptoms of cancer in a much more condensed video, head on over to that video. I'll try to maybe link it in the comments. I don't know if I can do that here on TikTok, but we'll find out. Or maybe I will pin it to my account or put it in a playlist. I'll figure it out. Okay, I want to preface with saying I was diagnosed with cancer actually a year ago today on January 28th, 2025. So the entire year of 2024, the year obviously right before I was diagnosed, I was having all sorts of issues. And basically it started out with what I thought was a running injury. I injured my lower back slash hip, right side of my lower back slash right hip, injured it running, went to the doctor, they did some imaging, it came back that I had a herniated disc at L5S1. Now, yes, that was a real injury, but as we know, it turns out that the pain surrounding that area ended up being bone cancer. And that's why I was not having any luck with getting relief. So with this, what we thought was just a herniated disc and treating it as such, I went to physical therapy, I went to chiropractors, I went to, like sports massage. I did 4 different steroid injections in different areas around that injury, including literally in my spine, but also like in the sciatic nerve, and then in that joint there. And so anyway, I did 4 steroid injections, like I said, in that region. And as the year went on and I tried, like I said, different treatment modalities and nothing was really improving significantly, I would get like a little bit of relief, but nothing that would really change my quality of life. And it was so bad that I couldn't run anymore. I couldn't even really go on hikes anymore. I could do like a short walk, but like even that like caused a lot of pain for me. And so it was really, really frustrating and really devastating to somebody who was an avid runner prior to this, what we thought was just a running injury. So that was kind of, let's say, January through October of 2024. Then in October, I was still experiencing that pain. And then I found a lump in my breast, like right here. And when I went home for Thanksgiving and Christmas in 2024, I had my mom feel it. And at that time, because I was so distraught over this, year-long running injury, that I kind of wrote this lump in my breast off. And I was like, that's the least of my problems right now, And also in October, I started having these, as I mentioned in my symptoms video, these episodes of extreme lightheadedness, like to the point of where I couldn't go grocery shopping anymore because I would be out in public pushing the cart and feeling like I was gonna faint, even though I was like hanging on to something. And so I started to have to get my groceries delivered. I could no longer like stand for long extended periods of times. I had to put a bar stool in my bathroom so I could get ready and do my makeup. And it was just ridiculous. And so, then had the breast lump. And then in November and December, things kind of, again, the same, and I still didn't get the breast lump checked out. And then I noticed in November sorry, back up. The day after Thanksgiving, I started feeling like really bloated, and I just thought, oh my gosh, I ate a lot at Thanksgiving. Whatever, it'll go away. And this like bloating sensation didn't go away. And I tried everything, and I even like asked for advice from different people and crowdsourced, tips and tricks for bloating, because that's what I thought it was, or thought I was just gaining weight, or that something was wrong with my GI. So then I finally decided I need to get all this or some of it checked out by a doctor. And so I went back to my primary care provider, who I hadn't been to for a while because I had been seeing all these specialists for the injury, right? So I go back to my primary care provider. He orders blood work that day, and he felt the lump, and he said, it actually seems to be, it feels pretty solid. It has good borders. Like, I'm not terribly concerned, but I'm gonna refer you out for a mammogram. And I'm gonna send you down to see. And I mentioned the pain in my lower abdomen as well. He's like, I'm gonna see if I can send you down. They had a CT machine at his office, but he tried to send me down to get a scan that day, but they were completely booked that day, so I couldn't get in. So he had me schedule with them, and I couldn't get in for a few weeks. And then the mammogram referral, couldn't get in for a few weeks either. Anyway, got my blood work done that day. He calls me that night and says, hey, your blood work came back. Has anyone ever told you you're like severely anemic? And I was like, yes, but like just once, and just recently I was actually at the eye doctor because I've been having this problem with my vision. And my eye doctor said I had some hemorrhaging in my eye, and that I should get it like further checked out by another specialist. And so it was just very frustrating. And all these specialist appointments or these referrals out to get these scans and imaging done, I couldn't get in for like weeks at a time. Anyway, my primary care provider said, I'd like to refer you out to a blood and cancer center. Now, just because I'm referring you to a blood and cancer center doesn't mean it's cancer. There's plenty of different blood disorders and diseases out there. I just want you to, get this checked out further. So couldn't get into that appointment either for a few weeks. And unfortunately, I didn't end up making it to any of those appointments because about, I think it was a couple weeks later, still weeks out from those appointments, there was this day where I could not stop throwing up. Like, I couldn't keep anything down. I couldn't keep crackers down, Pedialyte, water, nothing. And my mom finally convinced me to go to the emergency room. So I was living alone, and I drove myself to the ER. And I was like, how am I even going to get in the building? Because I can't walk without feeling like I'm going to faint. But I somehow managed to get in there. And I was just like bawling my eyes out. They call me back into triage. They send me back for chest x-ray and a CT scan. And then at this point, it's just kind of a waiting game, waiting for the images to come back. And I was there like all night, like all through the night. And it was probably like 2:00 in the morning at this point. And, a little bit before, I guess it was like 1 or 2:00 in the morning. Anyway, I was by myself, and then they said, is there anybody that we can call for you to be with you? And I eventually ended up texting my boyfriend at the time to come, and he did, thankfully. And anyway, I was in this like triage area where they had other patients, and we were separated by just a curtain. And they cleared out the whole triage area, so it was just me. But I didn't necessarily know that, I guess, at the time, because I was in like the last chair, and they had the ER doctor that I was seeing come in, and then like a team of nurses behind her, and they're like, we have some news or some results to share with you. It looks like you have cancer, and I'm so, she's apologizing. I'm so sorry to deliver this news to you. And it looks like it has spread to a lot of your different organs. And at that point, it felt literally like I was having this out of body experience, because I was like, surely they're not talking about me. And I was just in utter disbelief and just really devastated and emotional. Obviously, I was, bawling my eyes out. And I, after they delivered the news and I had a moment to calm down, I called my parents, and they basically were on the first flight. I was living in Colorado at the time, and they were on the first flight out to Colorado the next day to be with me. But I had gone to the emergency room at a smaller hospital in Colorado Springs. I went to Penrose, and they told me they didn't have an oncology floor. And so after they told me the news that I had cancer, they said, you're going to have to wait for transport, which won't be ready till 6 in the morning. And I was transported at 6 in the morning that day to St. Francis Hospital, also in Colorado Springs. It's just a bigger hospital, and they had an oncology unit, and obviously oncology doctors that could meet with me and discuss what treatment options I had. However, like I said, my parents met me in Colorado at St. Francis Hospital. And my mom had cancer 4 years ago, and we really loved her oncology team in Iowa. So we decided to move me to Iowa so I could be taken care of by my parents and my families and friends here. Like, I have such a good support system here in Iowa. That's not to say I didn't have a good support system in Colorado. It's just, my primary caregivers, aka mom and dad, they're here in Iowa, and so it was just easier to move me here and have my care transferred to Des Moines with Mission Cancer. And my team is amazing here in Iowa, as I've mentioned before. And hopefully that kind of answers the question of my diagnosis story. And I'm sorry it was so long-winded, but that's just the best way to explain it. It's hard to make a condensed diagnosis story. So if you stuck around for this long, thank you for watching. Love you guys. I guess one thing that I will add is how they diagnosed me with my specific type of cancer is they took, at St. Francis, they did a breast biopsy. We had some issues with that biopsy, so actually when I got to Des Moines, I did a liver biopsy, and that determined that the cancer originated in my lungs. And because of how much it had spread, or metastasized is what it's called, I was diagnosed as stage 4. So I am stage 4 non-small cell lung cancer.